Somebody make that statement. We'll call for vote.
So moved.
It's redundant. We just did it in closed. You got to do it in open session.
Second.
Charles, just
Got it. All right, Charles,
somebody made a second.
I got
Yes.
a motion in a second, Mr. Bratton.
Roll call vote. I'm sorry. Wow. It's gonna be a long night.
Yep, got it. Okay, now do the. Y'all ready for your vote now?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Charles,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
and BJ.
Yes.
BJ? Okay, thanks.
Okay. Frank, we got 10 things to vote on tonight. This is gonna take long. All right. We're in open session and we're being recorded on YouTube. Item 5A of the new business concerns the addition to the town code to require owners of vacant buildings in business districts B1, B2, B3 to keep their storefront windows covered with either brown or white paper if the building is used for storage. There are conditions requiring the covering to be maintained in a clean and neat manner at all times. Further, there will be a $250 per day penalty for failure to comply with this ordinance. I'm asking Dusty, how is that going to be enforced? Town manager, how's that going to be enforced? $250 fine. Is it a lien against property?
That, right, a bit lien against the property.
All right. So it will survive until, in order to sell the property, the owner will have to settle with the town on that, right? That could get expensive in a month.
That's correct.
This is a daily fee, right?
It could. Yes, it is.
All right. Council is asked to approve this ordinance as a first reading of the changes to section 6-3-197, 6-3-210-4, and 6-3-219. A motion to approve, this is to approve the ordinance change as a first reading.
BJ. Second.
Who's second? When you second, just say your name in a second.
I got Tommy and BJ.
Okay.
And this time when I do roll call, I'm gonna mute everybody and only unmute the person I'm talking to,
Good idea.
okay?
Go for it.
All right. Charles. Come on. Charles,
Can we legally do a 200? We have to have discussion before we vote. Can we legally do a $250 fine per day? Am I free to talk now?
you're open. If anybody else wants to speak, you
Oh,
need to
okay.
unmute yourself. You're
Yeah,
good,
can
Charles.
we legally go $250 a day? That's what I want to know.
On other property issues, we can fine up to $1,000 maximum. So basically, what I looked at was how could we get to that in a quicker period instead of dragging it out. So once the notifications have gone out, we can assess a civil penalty on most properties of $100 a day, not to exceed $1,000. With this, I believe we're in line with what we're trying to achieve by making some of these property owners who are leaving these buildings full of junk and unrented to suffer a little bit more of some pain to take care of their buildings and make sure they're presentable so Main Street gets a little bit better looking.
I just wanted to make sure that, you know, we can go there to that 250, you know, before I voted. If you're saying we can, then that's good enough for me.
The max on that would be $1,000 is where it would be capped at.
All right, is there a motion to approve as a first reading this new ordinance, this ordinance change with a cap of $1,000?
I think we had a motion in a second. That was just discussion, wasn't it?
Yeah,
All right, well, there's addition of putting a $1,000 cap that you didn't know about.
Okay, BJ makes a motion.
All right, is there, let him make the second again, please.
Charles, second.
All right, we've had the discussion. Roll call vote, please, and she will play with the mute button.
Charles,
Yes.
Charles, yes. James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5B addresses the need to adopt an ordinance of Virginia Code Section 35.1-1, and that is a lengthy section. There are a lot of subsections with it, but essentially that is so that we can allow people to rent space at the fair and not have to deal with having a food supervisor on site whenever they're open. The same thing would apply for vendors that are in town for a special event, such as the concerts that are coming up this summer. But it would have to be something that is approved by the town, that you can't just show up and have an event without having approval to do so. But otherwise there are limitations that will screw over you big time. We tried last year and I didn't do it as nearly anything like as well as it's done this time. So we'll make it a second pass. Is there a motion to adopt as the first reading, this additional code?
So moved.
So
Move,
moved.
Lisa.
Have we got a motion and a
Lisa.
second? Yeah,
Yes.
this is a second. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please. Tanya, you call roll?
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5C concerns a 31-year-old dump truck that Public Works is, even the Band-Aids don't work anymore to keep it together. The request is to establish a loan for the treasurer to take a loan for $23,299 to acquire a replacement dump truck. The motion to approve. there a motion to approve this loan purchase?
I make the motion, BJ.
All right, BJ made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Brenda made second. Any discussion?
How old is the new one gonna be?
The new truck is still gonna be an older truck, but it's in much better condition than the truck we're replacing. The truck we're replacing is a 1988, and it's having all kinds of electrical issues. It's left the staff stuck at the regional landfill. It's left them stuck on the side of the road. And the mechanics say it's time to move on from this dump truck because it's costing us too much to try and continue to maintain it. New truck is a 2000. The new truck is a 2001. It's a quad cab, and we took it for a test drive. Jim, myself, and Marvin, our mechanic, check it out to make sure that it was in top operational condition. Marvin was happy with it. The truck was in fantastic shape, and I think it's a quality purchase for us.
I was
This is
just thinking with the
basically
amount
a
of
sludge
money, that
truck.
wasn't a whole lot. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I said for 23,000, I didn't think the truck would be that good. I figured it'd be a whole lot more.
It's
Well, we have-
19-year-old, so
We were looking at another truck that was about 25,000, but when we went up that day, someone had already shown up with cash in hand and purchased that truck. So we went to our second truck.
anything else? This is a sludge dump truck, right? Mostly? This
Yes,
is
so
for,
that's the truck we're replacing. We're gonna move one of the trucks that are at the shop now down to the wastewater treatment plant and bring this truck into the town shop.
all right, that's good. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
no, wait a minute. I got a question. Didn't we just sell a few vehicles?
We did. The police department's side of that, they made $4,700, almost $4,800. And the one vehicle that the town shop sold brought in $4,800. That money went into the general fund.
So can't that roughly $10,000 be used towards the price of that truck?
Virginia Gray, can you answer that?
We should be able to. I hadn't thought about that.
That would bring the price down to about 13,000, 14,000 instead of a $23,000 loan.
Is it?
So I'm thinking you need to rethink that loan. If we've got money from sale of other vehicles, it should be going to replace that vehicle. That's just my thoughts on that.
Right. The money that we got from the sale of the police vehicles was going back into the police department. They were purchasing new firearms and ammunition. So that would basically, what they got, those 10 new weapons and the ammunition would take care of the cost of what they sold their vehicles for. So they were right along $5,000 for those new weapons and ammunition. So that part of that money has already been spent or obligated.
But there is some stuff down there, equipment wise, that's sitting that's not been used in a long time, could be sold.
There are some things down there, but Jim hasn't, set those out for when we can sell them, or what we would get for it at this point. A lot of things probably would just go to scrap. And there's not a lot else that we have down there that's going to bring us much money, because all of our vehicles are 25 years old plus. So it's, we could sell them, but we still have to replace those vehicles. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just hate to borrow money right now. They had to-
I'm gonna chime in. Like James just said, this is a time of year, we don't even know how much revenue we're gonna lose this year. I haven't seen a projection on a revenue loss, revenue gain. I think it's a bad time to be making loans if we can't have to. If we can find a way, if we have it, we gotta sell it, we gotta scrap it, get every dollar we can before we make a loan. That's where I'm at.
That's kind of the way I feel about it too. I just hate to get a loan right now, the way things are.
Well, we need a new dump truck.
Is it?
Whether we get a loan for it or we sell everything we got, we need a new dump truck. That's a newer dump truck. So that's the bottom line. So however you guys decide to vote, that'll be fine. And we'll make do with what we got.
Anybody else? All right, clerk will call the roll, please, on the acquisition of a newer dump truck.
Okay, Charles,
No,
James,
No,
Lisa,
No,
Brenda,
no,
Tommy,
No.
BJ.
For what it's worth, yes.
Okay,
Motion fails. I haven't called that very often in the last 12 years.
Sound like a good time to add that tobacco tax.
Thinking that, son, you're gonna get it one of these days. Item
Well, I
5B,
mean, we
request
can't-
council to approve. Yeah. Request council to approve the slate of officers for the Chase City Volunteer Fire Department for 2020 and 2021. Is there a motion to approve this request?
so move.
Is there a second? Motion is second. Any discussion?
who was the second?
Charles was the second. Clerk will call the roll.
Charles,
yes,
James,
Yes,
Lisa,
yes,
Brenda,
yes,
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5E is proposed to rectify an inconsistency between county building codes and town codes that pertain to the placement of accessory buildings relative to property boundary lines. I think Dusty had a run-in with some new residents over this. And it was, this has not been addressed in a long time. So the request is for accessory buildings relative to the property boundary line. Council's approve a first reading that noted the changes to town code 63162, 63172, and 63182, and I guess that's for the 3 different zones. The motion is to set the designation of what was 1 foot on a building, accessory building, Dusty? Then what you said?
5 foot. It's currently at 1 foot but it needs to be 5 foot off the property line, and that's in line with the county ordinance.
Okay. Any discussion?
Tommy Whitaker makes a motion.
All right, a motion and a second. I need a second.
Second.
I'm supposed to ask for a discussion now, but I already did it, so we'll keep it. There wasn't much. Ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
No, ma'am. I want to hear
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
That everybody?
Yes, sir.
That motion carries. Item 5F is similar, but it has to do with placement of fences along the boundary line. And the offset is asked for 1 foot, I think, Dusty, is that right? I don't have my list in front of me.
Yes, sir, that's right. We don't have anything in our codes at this point to say how far off a property line or where along a property line a fence should be located. So I thought that we should go ahead and identify that and put it in the code so people will know, when they go to put up a fence.
All right. For what it's worth,
Tommy makes a motion that we
we ran
approve.
into a problem. All right. Got a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah, second.
Charles.
I don't know. James and Charles piped up at the same time, as far as I can tell. Pick one. All right. If I was sitting if we were in council chambers, I'd make some remarks, but I'm gonna let it go. Clerk will please call the roll.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 5G adds the definition of the term fence to sections 6-3-20 of the town code. May I have a motion to approve this code change as a first reading?
So moved.
I'll make the motion.
All right, second from Tommy, moved by James. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 5H is a recommended plan to offer our law enforcement officers an additional benefit upon achieving 25 years of service to the town. This benefit begins upon the officer obtaining age 55 and the 25 years of service. We have reviewed several times the cost for providing the LEO services benefit that's in general use in Virginia. And every time we've tried it, it's come back to the price is exorbitant. We're trying to come up with an alternative, and this is what we're looking at. So may I have a motion to approve this benefit for our long-serving career officers?
So moved.
All right, a motion.
Second.
Second.
Charles.
Second from Charles. Any discussion?
Lisa, second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, roll call, sorry. Clerk will call a roll.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda, Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
BJ.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5I is a presentation of the town's budget for fiscal year 2020 and 2021. Is there anything the town manager or the treasurer would like to offer on this budget before we proceed?
One eye-catching item on there is going to be an increase in rates for our water and sewer. Pursuant to Roanoke River Service Authority raising their rate, we propose that we raise our water rates by $1 to compensate for the amount that Roanoke River has decided to raise their rates for the year. Also, looking at our wastewater and sewage, we're losing between $45,000 and $50,000 a year in our sewer fund, and we're having to cover that with any excess we have from other areas, including the water fund and our general fund. So my thought and my proposal is that we raise the sewer rates $4 a month, and that would make our overall water, sewer, garbage bill a total of $65 a month for basic service. That $4 a month will be enough to cover our shortfall, plus have enough to start setting aside for the major repairs and things that we're going to have in the upcoming years that the town is going to have to meet. Without this, we will be really behind on being able to make those upgrades to the system and also any contingencies forward. So that's my recommendation on that is we raise the water rates $1, we raise the sewage rate $4, and our basic service fee for all will be $65.
All right. Entertain a motion to accept this opportunity, this budget as a first reading.
So move.
Motion from Lisa, I think. Do I have a second?
Okay.
And a second from Brenda. We have a motion and a second for the acceptance of the budget for first reading for the budget of 2020-21. Any further discussion? I might mention that the $1 for the water fee is a typical increase for a 3,000 gallon user. That was a argument that I forwarded to on behalf of Roanoke River. I put forward to the town of South Hill and to the town of Chase City. That would be the typical user. That would be the effect on the typical user of 3,000 gallons would be the $1 cost. Somebody who goes over, it's going to be a whole nother story. We have to deal with that. But the $1 is the minimum increase on your water. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Charles,
No, too many questions for me.
James,
No, I think it's something else we can do.
Lisa,
Yes.
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy, Tommy, Tommy,
No.
BJ,
really on the fence here. We need to, I'm gonna say no right now. We need to meet again and this ain't working. I mean, this is nice and everything, but we gotta sit down together and talk about it.
Personally, I can't disagree with you. Anyway, there's no need voting any further. This motion is failing. Dustin, can we establish a separation meeting in the town office like we did first time we tried it? Everybody goes to respective corners and holler around the room.
Well, I'm sure we can because next week we'll be starting phase 1 of the reopening process and be able to have, groups of 10 or more gather. So I don't see a problem with it.
That may be, I don't know what we're gonna do at the Estes Center, but I'll find out before then. And maybe we can go in the banquet hall and spread everybody around. I'll talk to you about it. Okay. All right. The budget has failed. Obviously, we can't advertise it. So there's no further action on the budget. That concludes the new business of the evening. If you all read through the minutes, I presume that you read through the minutes, I would ask for a vote on the general consent of the correctness of the various sets of minutes that are printed. I have a motion to that effect.
So move.
There's a second.
Charles, second.
Any discussion for the sets of minutes that are there? All in favor, please say, answer the roll call.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes,
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
EJ.
Yes.
Thank you. Likewise, as we've been doing over the last few months, the same procedure would follow for the operating budget, the police department report, fire department report, public works report, and the bills paid by the town, and for the charge-offs against bills due to the town. Is there a motion to accept as a general consent the approval of these reports?
So moved.
Makes the motion.
I have a motion from Lisa, a second from Tommy. Any further discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Charles,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Lisa,
yes,
Brenda,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
All right. That concludes our votable business tonight. I'll make a brief comment and then we will go over. If you all want to dare to make a comment, you can go for it. We're most grateful for the dedication of our police, fire, rescue, public works, and administration employees and volunteers for their efforts to attend to the needs of our town during this very trying period of our nation's history. Every effort has been expended to keep our people safe while they work on behalf of the residents and neighbors of Chase City. We are very fortunate for the creative methods that have been placed in service to keep everyone as safe as possible in our little town. We thank each of their services for our services to our community. Anyone on council wish to comment?
when can I have my fly-ins?
Last Saturday?
Not this month, we start in June?
It depends on what they say, what the governor decides to do Friday, which is whatever he
Okay.
reads in the crystal ball.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what kind of ball he's reading, but anyway.
So we'll wait and see what comes out from the state. Really, that's the guiding light, no matter what.
Yes, sir. I figure so.
You should be able to get your separation. I don't know how you have to deal with your fine dining out there, but because that's gonna be a little tight. Maybe you have stuff to take
Wait.
out in the yard or something.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just, like I say, I'm very proud that we've finally passed something for these officers. I think it's nearly as good as Leo, and the fact that Chase City's taking care of it itself, rather than depending on an outside agency. I think it's even more special. It's us looking out for our own. And I'm not sure whose idea it was. I believe it was Dusty's. I appreciate you coming up with that between you and Jay. And I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Just like Charles, I mean, I'm thank you, Dusty, for coming up with that. We had to do something for the police department, and I think this is going to suffice well. Also, like the mayor said, the public works department's been working, you know, getting the streets cleaned up and everything looks good. And I really like the way they separating for the COVID-19 stuff, and I think everything is being run well on that. So hats off, good job to them, and like I said, good job on the PD, and maybe we can get together and get this thing ironed out on the budget. After got to thinking about it, I guess we just need to look at each other when we talk. I'm all about technology, but this is for the birds. Ain't nothing like a real meeting. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up now, but that was my little spew for the night.
We appreciate it. Anyone else?
Yes, I too would like to thank Dusty for coming up with the idea with the police department. And I think it's something different. Nobody else got it. So maybe we'll have an advantage now. And I'd just like to thank him again, and everybody be safe.
Yes, I'd like to say, Dusty, I know y'all have worked on this budget, and we didn't get far with it tonight. I think we need to sit down and hash it out among us. I do agree that the town needs a dump truck, but I don't want us to, at this time, with the way things is going on, you don't know what money's going to be coming in, what monies are going to be going out unexpectedly. So I really hate to take a loan out if it's some way we can squeeze and pull and everything to make that happen. Not going to say it's not going to happen, because we do need one. I agree with you 100%. And the rest of the budget, we just need to have a work day and hash it out. And I want to thank you and Jay, like the others said, on this thing for the police department. It's something well deserved and most deserved for what they do and laying their lives on the line every day. I'm glad that we could come up with something that we could afford, but something also that would benefit them. So thank you, and pass it on to Jay too, if you would.
Anyone else? All right, believe it or not, we have completed our agenda for the evening. Thank y'all for your efforts. This is still an experiment. This particular product may not be our best choice, but we'll have to experiment and see. We have a variety of different devices here who have different speeds, and the consequence is it seems like somebody's not paying attention. It's just the speeds of the various devices in the internet mix are necessarily complementary. We may need to find some other way of doing this if we have to stay electronically. Hopefully we can have a loose meeting, if you want to call it that, where we don't have to be elbow to elbow. Y'all do take care. Be safe. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
All right.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right,
Dusty, I'll try to talk to you tomorrow.